All right, let's start with a little bit of breathing just to warm up. We're gonna go ahead and find a comfortable position. Open up through the back and the sides of your rib cage so you have plenty of room to take your first big inhale here. And exhale, go ahead and blow out through your mouth. And just let yourself start to warm up from the inside out. Feel yourself relax into whatever position you chose to be comfortable in, to let those ribs open up wide to the side, through the back and the sides of your rib cages. And let's take a couple more inhale, exhales here. Just find your breath, find the rhythm to the inhale. And then cinch up your waistline with each exhale. Stay nice and relaxed through your head and your neck and your shoulders. And let's take one more inhale, exhale here together. And then let's go ahead and roll on down to our mat. Let yourself relax down. Find your neutral spine here. And begin with a gentle imprint and release. And just let yourself feel your low back flatten to the floor. When you go ahead to release out to your neutral, find your hips nice and level and even. It's important to know whether you're at neutral or not. And you don't want to force it, but you do want to reach for it. Because when you go to strengthen your glutes, you want to be as aligned as you can within the framework of your own body. And of course, there's always going to be asymmetries and little bits of differences between your body and what you should be. I did the air quotes if you didn't see that. But you want to try and get close to that neutral and find some space and flexibility. And then let's go through our imprint and go right ahead and peel up to our shoulder blades. Stay connected through the ribs in front. Roll down through your spine, nice and slowly through the center of your spine. Release out from your imprint back to your neutral spine. Watch the rib cages. Imprint again and peel your way up. So just take a couple more rolls up and down through your spine again in order to get good strength and build a connection through your body. You want to make sure that there's mobility first, and then we build the strength and the stability on a nice mobile system. So we're going to peel up one more time, roll down again, and then on our next hip roll, we're going to go up. We're going to hold it at the top, and we're going to do our little pulses here and squeeze. And you can feel your hips coming through your fingertips here, and make sure that when you go to touch them, they feel sort of level in space. Sometimes one may want to drop down over the other. Keep reaching them as level as you can across, and then roll through your spine, roll down. Let's do it again. Last time. Scoop, peel, and lift. Feel these hip bones here, and push up through the back side of your body, through your heels and your hams and your glutes, and lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then roll your way back down, roll through your imprint, and find yourself into your neutral spine. And then we're gonna roll over onto hands and knees and squeeze in a few cat-cows here. Real quick, just gonna get my hair out of the way. And then let's go to our hands and knees position here. We're gonna start from our tail first, round, let your head drop down. And then again, from your tail first, send your sit bones out, lengthen, and bring your head up on your spine. And then scoop and round. Really good. And then lengthen. And scoop and round. And lengthen. Good, let's do 2 more. And lengthen. And last one. And lengthen. And then I want you to take your right leg and send it straight out behind you. Turn your toes a little bit out. So it's as if you're a little open at the hip, and then pulse up behind. Little pulses, toes are turned away from the line of the heel, and lift and squeeze. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to pull that knee in towards your elbow. Send it back straight out again. Toes are turned out to the side instead of pointed to the floor, and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw it in. One more time. Reach it out. This time, straight toe behind you, and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slide it in. Switch sides. You're going to send your left leg out. You're going to turn your toe a little bit outward so you're rotated open at your hip, and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You draw the knee in towards your elbow. Reach it back out. Now keep that abs in your belly button supported, and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it in. One more time. Now straight toe behind you, and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch back to your right leg. And I want you to kick your leg out behind you as if you were going to kick someone away from you. Like you're trying to get them to go away. So you draw your knee in and you kick it out. And you draw your knee in and you kick it out. You're sort of pushing them off to the side. And press it out. And let's send it out. Draw it in for 5 and 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1, and switch sides. So you're sending someone away. You're kicking it out. Draw it in. Good. There's a little bit of an explosion to that kick. And push them away. Kick it out. And 5. Hold those abs in. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Let's go to our side. Let's do a little spine twist here. So we'll just start with a couple where we rotate and we open and reach and come around. Because again, we want to build on mobility. And the more mobile we are through your mid-back and the rotation of your rib cage, the better the whole system is going to be set up. So we rotate and we open and we reach and come around. And from here, just take your hand under your head here, all right? And we're going to do our fire hydrant to lift. And we lift and lower. So get nice and straight. I had to straighten myself out a little bit. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. Good. You can always put your hand up on the front of your hip and kind of grab the crest here. Thumb goes back behind you. And you can feel that high glute, your gluteus medius, pop up into your fingertips. Now keep your heels touching. Bring your knees a little forward and rotate to open. Keep the feet touching and open. Good. It's like a butterfly or a clamshell. And let's open and close. So these are great exercises to do even if you wanted to do like pre or post some form of cardio, whether you're walking or running or doing some sort of impact. These are really nice to set you up before you do that so that Your muscles around your pelvis are firing as you go into that activity. Good. Now let's set a hand down, reach that leg back behind you, so much so that you shouldn't see your toes if you look down the length of your leg. And we're gonna point and lower. And you're gonna keep your toes pointed to the floor the whole time. So you have a turn down in your foot, okay? Your knee is looking down towards the floor the whole time as you lift and lower. Stay really long and lift and lower. Shrink wrap that waistline for 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. And then change out your feet. Bottom leg goes straight. Oops. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Good. All right, we're back. So we're gonna straight leg on the bottom, you got it, and then we lift and come down. So your toes to nose position, we lift and lower, and lift and lower. So inner thigh here. Sort of the forgotten set of muscles around the hips, but very important too to the stability of your low back and pelvis. Help keep you strong and healthy for 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Now let's stretch out. And let's go ahead. You're going to keep this hand on the ground and you're going to just lift to reach and come down. And lift to reach and come down. So it's a side crunch. We lift to reach and down, right through here. Lift to reach and down. Now if you want to add a little leg lift, you can. Lift to reach and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Let's change sides. We'll go ahead and repeat everything on the opposite side. We're going to stretch it out. And we're going to start off with our fire hydrant. So our knees are bent, and we're going to lift both our knee and heel to open and close. So shrink wrap that waistline, little bit of daylight up underneath you here, and lift and lower. Stabilize the top shoulder and shoulder blade, eyes straight out in front of you for 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Heels come together, knees come a little forward, open for our clamshell. Keep that back nice and straight and steady. Draw in from your waistline. Open and close. Your hand can go on that high glute now here. Your thumb can feel it pop right up underneath it as you lift and lower for 3 and 2 and 1. So let's stretch out that top leg. And again, you won't see it as you look down your body. Toes are pointed and knee to the floor as we lower and lift. Good. Inhales and exhales. Really stretch through the length of your foot. Stay open through the side body. And let's go 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. We're going to switch out our legs. Flex the foot in front and lift. And 2, 3, and 4. Last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Stack them up again. Set your hand down. Reach along the side body. Start with a few, just the upper, and come down. It's a side crunch and down. Stay connected in the front, and then add the legs to lift and lower and lift and lower. And this may feel a little different than the other side. It actually feels a little easier for me, but it's pretty normal for one side to possibly be a little more challenging than the others. Good. All right, there we go. That was our side stuff. Let's go back onto our back here. Roll our way down. And let's do our 100 because it wouldn't be a Pilates workout without it. So what we're gonna do, you can hold weights if you want or not. I don't think I'm going to today, but I'm gonna come up to my tabletop. We're gonna go in and out for our first 50, and then our last 50, if you can, keep your legs straight. So come on up. Let's breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach, 2, 3, 4, 10, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 20. Abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach, 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach, 2, 3, 4, 40. Abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 50. Stay out here, and out, 2, 3, 4, 60. Deepen your abs. And out, 2, 3, 4, 70. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach, 2, 3, 4, 80. Abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach, 2, 3, 4, 90. Last 10. And out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Just bring it on in. Give your knees a little hug. Let your head down. Let's set a leg down at a time. Let's stretch out. Bring your hands over your head, and let's reach to the ceiling and fold forward and stretch. Good. And then roll it all the way down. Good. And again, ceiling, toes to the ceiling as you stretch your fingertips over your feet. Good. One more here, and then we're rolling over to our stomachs. And reach and stretch. Perfect. You roll down. Let's roll to our stomachs. Nice. Let's go ahead over here and let's do opposites. And reach. And reach. We're swimming. And reach. And reach. Stretch it out. Hip bones into the floor. And reach. And stretch. And reach. Let's go. That's it. And stretch and stretch. Couple more. One more. Perfect. Now rest your head on your forearms. Click your heels together and squeeze. Let your knees go wide and squeeze. These are great for activating the back of your body and opening the front of your hips. And squeeze. And squeeze. Lift your abs for 3. And 2. Last one. Good. Set your feet down. Bring your hands to your side. Reach your arms and swim to come down. Reach and swim to come down. Inhale, exhale, come around and down, and 3, and 2, and 1. And then let's push into a quick shell stretch. Good, just stretch out if we created any tension in the low back here. Perfect. Let's grab a set of light weights if you have them nearby. Awesome. If you don't, no big deal. Just use your hands. We're going to take our hands to our side. We're going to start seated on our knees, or the best that you can do. If you need to, you can always put something up under your tush. And from here, we're going to come up and punch and pull it in. So you come up off your knees and punch your arms straight out in front of you and set it down. Up to punch and come down. Set it with control. So it's a hips and squeeze your tush. So you want to feel yourself pull your hips right up underneath you so you can see the cheeks come together. I want you to try and avoid overarching your back. Keep your shoulders over your hips. So the center of your chest sits over the center of your rib cage, and the center of your rib cage sits over the center of your pelvis. So think about that a little bit. If there was a little light in those 3 spots, line those lights up in a row. Good. And punch. Now let's stay here. Hold your position. Wrap up those glutes. And I want you to bring your arms up, open, and circle your way around. Up, open, and circle around. Good. Perfect. Now step one foot in front of you and curl your other toes up underneath you and come off the floor. Okay? So we're hovering, and now we circle. Up, open, and circle. For 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Set your knee down. Come down to both knees. Let's switch legs. The other foot goes in front of you. We're going to change the circles now. Start here. Come around. Before we lift up, start a few. And come around. Squeeze that cheek up underneath you. Good. 2 more. Come around. Last one. Now curl the toes. Come up nice and low here. So you hover just off the mat and come around. It's a diamond-shaped circle. And let's go 4. Stay nice and low for 3. Last 2. And 1. Good. Come down, set it down, and send your weights away. Good. So let's go ahead here, keeping our toes curled up underneath us. Let's go ahead up to our plank, or just bring the knees off the mat and step out. And step out, and step out, and step out. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And come on down. Now we're going to go out one time to a full plank. We're going to come up. We're in our full plank. Okay. So from here, we're going to lift and lower and lift. Keep your hips low. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And come on down. All right, let's go to our side. Let's go to our side plank. So we're going to go ahead from here, stack up on our elbow, forearm out in front of us. Reach your arm along the length of your body, bend your knees behind you, and lift up from your hips. Try not to just push through your shoulder. That's it. Good. And pick up. Inner thighs are squeezing. And lift and lower. And 5. And 4. Last 3. And 2. And 1. Now stretch that leg out and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it in and set your hips down. Let's change to the other side. Woo, cruising along. Let's do it over here. All right, so stack up everything, straight line down your body, elbow under your shoulders, and lift your hips. And really lift from this bottom hip. Pick yourself up instead of pushing through that shoulder. Eyes straight out in front of you, and lift and lower, and lift and lower. Good. For 4 and 3. You know what's coming next. 2 and 1, and then stretch it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw it in and set those hips down. Perfect. Let's roll over to our back one more time. And let's take one of those little weighted balls. And if you don't have that, you can use almost anything you have laying around to squeeze. And let's just finish up with a hip lift. So we're neutral here, rib cage connected. We're holding our weighted ball, and we're just gonna pick our hips up and set our hips down. So instead of rolling like we did in the beginning, we're lifting and lowering, and lifting and lowering. Good. 4 more. 4 and 3. Last 2. Now hold it up and squeeze your ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your hips down. Good. And lift it up. And squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time through, lift it up and squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now set it down. Let's get rid of the ball. Let's cross an ankle over the opposite knee. And let's do a series of single leg lifts and lower. So we lift, keep our hips as level as possible, and down. And lift and lower. Stay open through your hips for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. So what we're going to do here is switch sides. We'll come back to that, but crisscross the opposite side. Let's finish up with the strength stuff and we'll stretch. And let's lift and lower. Make sure you're open through the hip on the stretching side and lifting to keep your hips level. For 5 and 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Switch back, ankle over knee, and grab the back of your thigh. So you're going to hug in. Yeah. Other leg. Yep. Perfect. And pull that into you. So you should feel, I feel a whole lot in my inner thigh here. You might feel a whole lot on the outer there. You're going to hold this here. You can also do this if it's a lot to hold with your hands. This free foot could be up against a wall. You could push that foot into the wall, and then you wouldn't have to hold on at all. And you would just scoot forward or back from the wall depending on how much tension you wanted. So try and keep a little space in your low back. Stay here for a few breath cycles. Get back to that where we began in the beginning. Really tuning into our breath as we switch sides. Set your foot down just to crisscross. Grab a hold of the back side of your thigh, of the non-stretching leg. And again, you can see where my foot is in the air. It could just as easily be up against a wall. And we're going to stay here. Tune into our 3-dimensional breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Good. A lot of feels with this stretch. Sometimes it just takes a couple breaths even to let yourself let go enough to get into it. But this is a really good stretch for those of us who've been sitting a lot all day. So you just set your foot down and bring your other foot down. And that is our 30-minute glutes for today.